All right, welcome back to the Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. Dan Fates. I am Jenna Cottrell. I'm wearing heels right now. You can't tell, but that's probably why I'm a lot. I feel like I'm taller than you. Whatever. Please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. We're talking all this Bills practice today as we got to see Nyheim Hines out here for the first time, but also Tre White.
Yep.
It's been a year since he tore his ACL on Thanksgiving. Today we finally got to talk to him. He met with reporters, and he talked about what the last 11 months have been like. And I don't know about you, Dan, but he was candid, he was thoughtful, insightful. He's still the same Tre White, but I was just blown away by his experience and how open he was about it.
Well, we haven't heard from Tre in 11 months since he tore his ACL last Thanksgiving. And it brought me back to remember when he signed his contract extension, his new deal, and it was over Zoom, but Tre talked about how much it meant to him, his family, to tell his dad that, you know, he did this, and to give kids in Shreveport, Louisiana, one of the most poverty-ridden cities in the country, that you can do it. And it was more of that. He was even asked, what's overcoming this, the ACL injury, is this the most hardest, challenging thing you've ever done? He said, no, making it here. Being here is still the most hardest thing. So he talked about that there were dark days. That is, people in the building had to come and drag him out of his basement. Those are his words. That's not mine. And that it felt nice that he didn't go through this journey alone, and that he credited a lot of the people in this building.
I thought it was super just calm. Like, I felt like we were all having a conversation with him. I mean, it's been cameras, it's been a while. I mean, it's been almost a year since we have talked to him, and seeing him walk off the field in New Orleans, his home state in terms of Louisiana, and just to see how upset he was. I mean, you could tell it was something bad then, but the rehab process and what's gone into it, you could tell there was points, and he talked so much about how he kind of had to realize, yes, football is his job, but it's not who he is. It's not his identity and what he can learn through this experience, and how much he can add in so many other ways. But that to me was just, and that doesn't mean it distracts him from being who he is, but I was just very impressed.
And I think we forget about this. Fans forget about this. They're human beings. I think we are almost thinking that they're robots, that they go out and they perform, and then that's all they think about. They have families, they have kids, they have relationship problems. They go through all the stuff that
thoughts, feelings.
They go through all the things that we experience. They just also happen to be really good and get paid millions of dollars to play a kid's game. And so that was where Tre said that he found a new perspective, that for the first time in his life, he goes, because for the last 20 years it was football, track, basketball. And he said those are the things. He goes, so this is the first time that he had a chance to sit down and say, like, what can I give to people? And he said that he's more than just, he can provide more to people than just knocking down a pass or intercepting a ball. And it was deep. And like I said, I tweeted out a couple of things. We'll post the full thing on his full interview on Buffalo Plus YouTube channel. But he just talked about the fact of this coming full circle and being more than a football player. It was deep. And when Tre White talks, you should listen.
Yeah, you really should. And again, it just brings home that idea of, like, these are people. This was a very challenging experience, and it took a lot out of him. But he also talked about how it really has been such a process, both physical and mental, and just where he's at now. And he's like, I'm being super patient, and we're trying to, make sure that we make the best decisions possible because of how much this means and how much does go into it. He talked about relying on his teammates, Micah Hyde, as well as Taron Johnson. Even Levi Wallace has reached out, Dane Jackson. So that, to me, was just, it was, again, we forget about what these guys go through, and you could tell that it's been weighing on him, but just seeing how excited he is to get back was pretty cool.
And he also talked about, I had a point and I forgot it.
That's okay. That happens to me all the time. I will say, so Sean McDermott, we don't know if he will play at this point on Sunday against the Jets.
Good point, I'm sure. I'm sure it was a good point.
I'm sure it's not exactly what I said, but just in your own words. You and Mike do that all the time. I'll say something to you, and then you'll just repeat it back to me.
Hang around Mike too much and forgetting things.
Mike is 60. All right. So getting back to what we were talking about, just incredibly impressed by Tre and what this has been like. He will not. We don't know if he will play on Sunday yet. Sean McDermott did not rule him out, but I thought that was a really encouraging sign because
remembered it.
Yeah.
He talks about, we're asking about what it's like to come back to this defense, this number one ranked defense. He goes,
where else can you get this coverage?
Yeah, he goes, y'all been seeing my team? He goes, you've been watching my team? Like, it was that joyful in him that And he also admitted that the patience, it helped knowing there will be more important games, that they don't need to come out and necessarily win, that there are bigger things down the road. So all of that tied into one. Again, it's like 17 minutes. It's worth every second of your time because Tre White is that great.
Yeah, absolutely. Another guy out there at practice today, Nyheim Hines in Buffalo after being traded from the Colts. He did not practice today. That was just really a stipulation because
he got into practice halfway through.
He got into practice halfway through, but he didn't start out practicing.
The part that we saw.
But yes, the part that we saw. But I loved how we talked to Josh Allen after practice, and he was like, "Holy crap, he's fast."
That was the best. Like the candidness, and again, when we can say somebody's fast, but we're slow. So like, what does that matter? But when you have Josh Allen said one play, looked at Stephon, and we both said, "Holy crap, he's fast," and like that is what I think he's going to provide. I thought it was interesting. Brandon Beane talked a lot today that he doesn't think this will inhibit James Cook or take anything away from the development of James Cook because their skill sets seem to be very similar.
Yeah, I feel like James Cook probably doesn't think that if I'm him.
I agree, and I don't think Devin Singletary would say the same thing either.
Yeah, but I get it. I mean, I think Von Miller put it best, like, you should always be trying to get better. And that is absolutely the case. We saw other teams like the Dolphins go after Bradley Chubb, like players like that. Everyone's always getting better. It's an arms race. What did the Bills do? They added a versatile guy that has experience and has talent and has shown those results, so I get it.
Well, it's also just the fact of I've been trying to tell people that the Bills they're not in love with Devin Singletary. For as much as they may like what he does, they tried to replace him in 2020 with Zach Moss. They were interested in running backs in the 2021 draft class. They tried to sign Jared McKissick. They drafted James Cook. Like, they have been constantly trying to improve the running back position since the moment they brought in Devin Singletary.
Yeah, like if you read the tea leaves, you're like, yeah, they want more.
And Brandon Beane said, went on and part of his talk today was explaining how trade discussions work. He did say that he had conversations about Christian McCaffrey in Carolina, as I reported, and then they said that wasn't true, so it was true.
Take your moment.
I was right. I was right.
You are being so coy. Dan was right.
Vindication.
Yes. It's like when Kelvin Benjamin got cut for me. Vindication.
Woo!
All right. Anything else? I'm trying to think.
No, it's also interesting. The Jets coming this week. Sauce Gardner, Josh Allen, tons of respect for him. This Jets defense, I still think is very talented. Yes. It's just a matter of Josh is the only quarterback in this division that isn't in his second year. Everybody else is in their second year, and just the fact that everybody's always trying to find the guy.
Yeah.
And the Bills seemingly are the only ones. Tua is playing very well, but that they have the guy.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think, like you said, the Jets have been playing better. Their defense. Yep. I loved how, Josh said, Sauce Gardner wears number 1. He is one of one. I thought that was funny. But, yeah, he's a very talented player. And, like, we've seen how effective he has been. I think this Bills team, though, I'm excited to see if Nyheim Hines plays, what he can add.
Mike did a video. I think he provides stability specifically in the punt game.
Yeah.
Like in the return game, I think that's a big part. Obviously, losing Jamison Crowder, this provides a steadier hand, and also it takes something off Khalil Shakir's plate.
Agreed.
Because that's another position where he's a
rookie.
Yes, and he's been trying to do both, and he's actually missing out on reps with the wide receivers because he's going to the stadium a lot of times and handling the conditions of inside Highmark Stadium, which even Nyheim Hines laughed and said the wind is real. Like he goes, you've caught punts in a dome. What's it like? He's caught punts here. He's played here. So I think he provides another depth piece. I don't think this is a blockbuster move by any means. I know you, Mike, did a video on it. You can watch that too on your guys' reaction on it yesterday. Like I said, I like the move. I don't know how much we'll see this week as he kind of gets integrated more and more. He joked that he's not going to play Xbox this week. He's going to learn the complex playbook. So, it was a ton of storylines today, and we barely talked about the Jets.
I just Dean Marlowe's back.
Dean Marlowe's back too. Did a story with him in 2019. Nice guy.
Yeah, very nice guy. Yeah, we didn't really talk about the Jets, but there was a lot going on. So Tre White talking for the first time in a year. Can understand why that's the top of the list.
Yeah.
Also, I have to wrap up because I just feel like I'm looking directly into the sun. So if you see me squinting, that's why. I know. Everyone was commenting. I wore heels today. Like it's some big deal. We met Chris Berman. That was pretty cool.
Chris Berman was here. That was really cool. Starstruck. Yep.
Yeah, that was pretty neat. All right. The players are leaving now. Like, comment, subscribe, comment. Just your thoughts on seeing Tre White getting even closer to his return. And
go listen to him. And then give your comments about how awesome it was.
Yeah, love it. All right, thank you for watching. For Dan.
Next level coverage.
I'm Jenna. We'll see you next time here on Buffalo Plus.